The period of time when you're done with your experiments and you're cleaning up and ready to go is among the most dangerous and the most apt to lead to you getting contact with chemicals that you don't want to be in contact with. And so that's for two reasons. One is your mind starts wandering onto other things, you might rush a bit, but also just washing things is a bit messy. Remember that your beakers and the like that you're using have chemicals in them, and when you go to put water in them, sometimes they'll just splash, and that can splash on your hands or splash up in your face and on your skin. So be really careful about how you do that. And for one thing is, before you put the glassware underneath the stream of water, turn the stream of water on first, do that slowly, and get the water going to the degree you want, and then go ahead and use the water running from the sink to clean your glassware. If you find glassware in the lab not in its normal storage positions, assume that it is dirty. Either go ahead and wash it or put it aside, but do not use it. And assume that you shouldn't be touching any chemical surfaces with it. Let's talk about spills. Sometimes stuff spills. If you have a relatively small spill, something like that, go ahead and clean it up yourself. Get a paper towel and clean it up. Ask your instructor if you should be wearing gloves when you do so. If you have a larger spill, call your instructor and they will help you clean it up. Before you start working, you should inspect your glassware to make sure it doesn't have any cracks or chips. So this is a beaker and it has a crack in it, and if you were to put this on a hot plate and heated it up, it could very well, more likely, would break and fall apart and spill chemicals on the hot plate and maybe splatter on you. So safety is more important than the cost of glassware, so whenever we have anything wrong with our glassware, we dispose of it. And we don't want to take a cracked or chipped piece of glass and throw it in the regular trash, because then people who are handling the trash will be in danger of cutting themselves and of cutting themselves bad enough, but also getting contaminated with whatever is on the broken glass. So what we do is we have special containers for our broken glass, and they are cleverly labeled glass. And so all broken glass does not go in the regular waste containers. They go in these special glass containers. So put your glass in there when you have anything that needs to be thrown out. If you break a piece of glassware and it breaks into pieces on the floor, clean it up, but be sure to use a brush and a broom and pan to do that, to dispose of it in the glass waste. Don't use your hands. Don't touch the broken glass with your fingers. Use the pan and the brush instead. Regular trash goes in these trash bins, and one important rule is to never put any metal in the trash bins. And the reason is that metal, particularly when it gets damp, can actually catch on fire. And so we've got these metal, pretty expensive, fancy trash bins to help extinguish fire if it happens, but we just don't want to go there. So no metal in the trash bins. If you do have metal that needs to be thrown out, your instructor will show you where the solid waste bin is. Being in lab can really be an enjoyable experience. It can be fun. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this paper and I'm going to try to make a basket. So, was that good? No, it was not good. Inside lab, we do not play around. We do enjoy ourselves because we're doing science, but no playing around. Sometimes you'll see these red and white little coolers. They're Coleman coolers, like as if you're going camping, but you're not. You've been doing a lab. And in here you'll find ice. And so that's regular ice. It's made in an ice machine we have down the hall here. But should you use this ice in a nice cold frosty drink? The answer, my friends, is no. Because that would constitute eating in lab. And you should never eat or drink anything in lab. So when you come to lab, you should, if you have a water bottle or something like that, put it inside your pack and don't have it out at all during the lab. And of course, no eating in lab, and certainly no eating anything that you find in lab. And so when you have chemicals, you don't take big sniffs of them, you don't taste them, you don't rub them with your fingers. You basically avoid contact at all times. And ingesting anything, including ice, is not allowed.